All right, everyone. Well, we've got a very interesting Global Labs update and patch note to go over today, and it looks like mansions are going to be coming to Black Desert Online. So we'll go ahead and jump into this. This is obviously the big highlight of the Global Labs update, but there's a lot of other really important little stuff as well, including some really important quality of life stuff. I did actually see something about Caphras in this patch notes, and the good news is a little bit of a sneak peek, guys. It is not bad news. It's just a buff. It's not a nerf, so it does not look like they are going to be nerfing the Caphras that they just recently buffed. I know a lot of people have been asking me about that because it's been pretty crazy over the last few days. Nonetheless, it looks like the only things that I saw in this note here actually were just even more buffs to Olin's Valley, but some other really nice quality of life stuff and little things that we'll get into the details of. Now, if you guys are wondering, a little unfamiliar how this works here, is this is not patch notes for NA, EU, Southeast Asia, any of that sort of stuff. This is the Global Labs note, which means that we don't know the exact date that this is going to be coming to NA, EU. It's generally a week, 2 weeks or so, somewhere in that general time frame. In fact, you can even use the last update as a reference, because I actually made a video when the Global Labs notes came out for the last update, the Caphras Massive Pure Magic update that we got a few days ago. I made a video a few weeks ago talking about that, and now you guys can see that we recently got that update. So that gives you a general time frame. It's not 100% exact. We don't know the exact dates or any of that sort of stuff, but what this does is it still gives us a pretty darn good idea of what to really expect when it comes to the future of Black Desert Online, when it comes to NA, EU, and Southeast Asia. So let's go ahead and jump into it here and kind of go over what we've got for this update here. Now, obviously, the really big thing is going to be the mansions, the Blue Main Lions Manor. Now, even note here that they actually have this at the top. Now, also keep in mind that these are translated, so obviously word for word, it might not be perfect, but still it'll give us a pretty general idea of what to kind of gather from the notes here. Due to the lack of time to apply today's update, the mansion Blue Main's Lions Manor will be open on Global Labs the following Monday, July 19th. So it even got delayed with the global notes that are out, and at the time of me recording this, the 18th of July, it got delayed another day. So it wouldn't surprise me if it was still a couple weeks or possibly even longer before we got this on any EU, but I guess we'll just have to see here. But the Blue Main's Lions Manor is going to be the first of the mansions that looks like they're going to be coming, and I hope that means more. But let's get into what this mansion is actually going to include here. So the Blue Main's Lions Manor, which was introduced as a mansion, has been added. The first manor is located between Serendia, Hydel, and the eastern border for more people to pass and explore. This Blue Main's Lions Manor was meant to further expand the romance of home decorating for the first time. Therefore, we put great importance not only on the inside of the mansion, but also on the outside space so that the entire mansion can be freely decorated. In addition, we decided that it would be good to have a terrace in a large house, so we expanded the terrace space and made this space to be decorated as well. So those of you guys who are really into home decorations and that sort of stuff, looks like mansions might be your thing. Several types of manor exclusive furniture have also been added, and actually they have a list here which we'll get into. I did a little bit of a sneak peek. You can see all of the exclusive stuff that will be available for the mansions. Several types of manor exclusive furniture have been added. Lawns and various flowers that can create a garden, as well as lighting to help maintain a beautiful appearance even at night, have been added, and various types of trees can be placed directly. In addition, so-called effect-type objects, fireflies, etc., have been added to make it possible to produce a little more meticulously. We plan to add furniture and objects with different concepts in the future to enable more diverse productions, especially in external spaces. It seems like it could be possible to hold a concert in the garden to make martial arts field, or to make it possible to direct a farmland centered on a vegetable garden. That'd be really interesting to see if you could actually like legitimately farm, or if it's just going to be kind of like an aesthetic farm. I would imagine they would try to incorporate like actual farming into this, but I mean, who really knows? It seems like everything we've kind of seen so far has really been focusing on like aesthetics, home decorating, that sort of stuff. Many of you may be curious about the interior points. Now, this is something that is a whole big system when it comes to home decorating. I have not really gotten too far in depth with this. It feels like a bit of a headache for me to get into. It's not really my kind of thing. If it's for you, absolutely go for it. You know, I'm all about do the things in the games that you guys get the most enjoyment from. Don't let anybody bring you down. Don't let anybody tell you to not have fun doing that. Like whatever floats your boat and whatever brings you happiness out of the game, and however you can achieve that, that is the 100% the way to play it. So you may be curious about the interior points. But first of all, general interior points are not reflected in this manner. It looks like they're going to be using a different type of system instead of just cramming a bunch of stuff to min-max your points, which I would imagine is how the current system works for just the regular residences that we have. Is if you're going for like number 1 and you want to get the the benchmarks to use the special nodes, you've probably got to cram a bunch of stuff that makes your residence not really look that great, just getting the maximum number of points. First of all, we want to focus on pure decoration and enjoyment. Instead, we want to run various kinds of contests afterwards. For example, it seems like that would be a method using artistry, space utilization, blank space, appropriateness of furniture arrangement, rather than a point-based interior score. So they want to reward actually being artistic and not just cramming a million points in for min-maxing. I totally get that. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out, though. Lastly, in the case of this manor, this is the important part, is how are you actually going to be able to get this? How are you going to unlock it? What are the ways to go about it? At first, it was configured so that only some qualified adventurers could use it by giving a rental certificate, but we have lifted the restrictions so that a little more people can use it. However, it requires 50 contribution points. So that's the big benchmark there. 50 contribution points. Generally not going to be a problem for a lot of people. Lately, unfortunately, the uses of contribution points have kind of dwindled. Like, there's still a lot of ways to use them, of course. You definitely want to have your farm. You probably want to have certain nodes with your worker empire and a couple of other uses here and there that I'm sure I've got other videos out there talking more in detail about. But if you are looking for this, it's going to take 50 contributions. So it pays a small tax on Serenity every day. It may be a burden, but we will continue to expand related patches to make it worthwhile, so we ask for your interest and anticipation. So you can see here, basically what it looks like, where it's going to be located there. Interior space, let's see, in the case of external space, you can decorate only the newly added mansion, only external object, basically just explaining how it's going to work here. Blue Main Lions Manor can be rented by investing 50 contribution points after completing the related quests. Also, you must pay a certain rental fee, approximately 5 million silver coins every day through Heidel's warehouse. If you're new, don't let that number really intimidate you too much. 5 million silver a day is honestly pretty affordable for even, moderately active players. You shouldn't really have too big of a problem with that. So if you really want this, that shouldn't be the concern. Probably the 50 contribution is going to be the bigger concern, especially for more intermediate and advanced players. Periodically conducted through the Imperial Auction. With this deed, you can use the manor permanently with 50 contributions and no taxes. Oh, that's actually interesting right there. So it looks like, however, the Blue Main Lions Garden purchase certificate is periodically conducted through the Imperial Auction. Interesting there. Interesting. With this deed, you could use the manor permanently with 50 contribution and no taxes. So it looks like if you actually get this certificate here, you'll be able to unlock it permanently without having to pay that 5 million silver coins per day. So exclusive furniture and objects have been added, and as I was talking about earlier, you guys can take a look and see here all of the stuff that will be exclusive to the manor, kind of getting a look for what that's going to be like right there. And if this is something that interests you guys, please let me know in the comments. I particularly myself, I'm not really too into the whole interior design, home decorating, that type of play style. Nothing wrong with it at all. It's just not necessarily the thing that I really get a ton of enjoyment out of the game. But I really want to reaffirm that point that I said, like, if you enjoy this kind of stuff, or you enjoy something else in the game, and maybe it's not very conventional, maybe it's something that not a lot of people do, like, don't let anybody bring you down. The most important thing is to have fun. That's really the reason at the end of the day why hopefully we're all playing the game, right? So at the end of the day, if you're not having fun, that's generally a problem, and you really want to try to focus on making that your #1 goal. So just some more appearance right there, and that's pretty much going to end the section, the main feature of this update when it comes to the mansions. So now we get into some of the other stuff, and this is actually really important here, and some of the smaller quality of life stuff and other changes in this Global Labs update. So season servers. Now, they are talking about the Ataraxian Dungeon, and the Ataraxian Dungeon is actually coming out. Depending on when you guys are watching this video, it might already be out, but it's going to be very, very soon. In fact, more videos will be coming about that very soon as well, so definitely keep an eye out. But there's going to be a special seasonal-only Ataraxian dungeon that you'll be able to access on the seasonal servers, and it looks like when entering Ataraxian on the season server, you'll be entered as a seasoned Ataraxian, can be challenged with the Tuvala equipment set light 2 or higher. I would imagine that means Duo Tuvala or higher, I would guess. So if you've got Duo Tuvala, you'll be able to lift the restrictions to get into the seasonal version of Ataraxian, and there's a special quest here as well. Now, this is something I'm going to get more into detail because the rewards and the quests, the benchmark rewards for like getting your loot essentially out of Ataraxian can be a little bit confusing to kind of understand at first here. But basically, think of this as like, you know how they implemented the like the seasonal what are they? The afuaros, where they're kind of like a little bonus. They're like extra afuaros that give you extra stuff on the seasonal. It's like this is on top of the other weeklies and the other quests that you can do to get rewards from Ataraxian. It doesn't replace it, but if you have a seasonal character and you meet that benchmark of having what looks like Duo Tuvala gear or higher, you'll be able to get an additional weekly quest that will give you additional rewards that are specifically obviously going to be seasonal materials. And you can see here that these are the items that you end up getting from the box, and the rewards from Ataraxian are going to be like a loot box basically that's got a whole bunch of stuff in it, and I'll get more into this in another video coming up very soon. But this one is specifically for seasonal items, and you can see all the stuff that you can get from there. You can get that stone that goes and upgrades your Tuvala from Tet to Pen guaranteed, and some fail stacks, thorns, the typical basic stuff, seasonal loot basically. So some guild recruitment improvements right here. And now there's some important stuff, UI improvements. This is actually kind of a big deal. I saw this and I'm like, wait a second, is this really coming to the game, or is this am I seeing things here? Am I seeing double? I had to take my glasses off for a second. I was like, wait. Are we actually getting this? Like, for real? It's actually happening. We're going to be able to move multiple items to the warehouse, guys. Do you see this? What an awesome little demonstration animation, too. That's right. We'll actually be able to do it. And part of me I can't help but think to myself, like, I really do feel like they watched Moreland's video, or at least got some sort of info out of it, because I'm pretty sure he talked about like this thing exactly, but I could be wrong, honestly. Like, I know I've heard the suggestion like 1,000 times before, so it's finally happening. We will be able to actually move multiple items to and from the warehouse at once. It has been improved so that up to 20 non-overlapping items can be moved at a time when using the warehouse and central market through NPCs. However, only items of the same enhancement level can be moved, and only one item of pen grade can be moved as before. So keep that in mind. Accordingly, so this function has been added to Sebastian. So if you guys have the more expensive maid that recently came out, of course, they're going to go ahead and add this to him. Items other than the searched items have been changed to be exposed darkly so that the search results can be clearly recognized in the bag, pearl bag, family bag, and exchange warehouse. Like little things that make a big difference. I love it. This is great. Let's see these kind of things, like little things. If we could see one of these sprinkled in like every patch note, like that is huge. I love to see this just as a start here. And if we can continue to see these kinds of like little things, again, little things that make a very, very big difference. Oh man, I am feeling very good about the future of the game with this sort of stuff sprinkled in with the notes for this week. So now there's a couple of other important things. We get to that Caphras thing that I mentioned. Where was it? It might be right here. Yes, here it is. Item changes. The drop rate of Caphras stones. And as soon as I read those words, I was like, oh no, they didn't do it already, did they? Don't worry, they didn't. The drop rate of Caphras stones and ancient spirit powder, which can be obtained as loot through Colossians in the Valley of Olin, has been increased. So it seems like they went with the buff more instead of nerf option. Obviously, a lot of people have had lots of opinions about the recent Caphras updates. We've been talking a lot about it on the Twitch stream at twitch.tv/salt. We've been doing a bit of grinding here and there, which I usually don't do a whole lot of on the stream. And certain hours, we're getting 30, 40, even pushing up to 50 Caphras per hour at even pretty low AP spots. And a lot of people are like, do you think they're going to nerf it? Do you think they're going to nerf it? And honestly, I've been a little 50-50 on it. I don't really want to commit to an answer. I don't really think so, but I also wouldn't be super surprised if they did. But I really do think they're trying to streamline grinding a lot more lately. I think that's kind of been their focus. This is kind of nice to see that instead of actually nerfing basically what they just buffed in the last update, because it's obviously a very big change compared to before. It seems like they're just going to be increasing the amount of Caphras that we get from Olin's instead. And I know that they said that that's kind of like their, their gold standard or their benchmark that they like to use for like the upper limits of the amount of Caphras and ancient spirit powders that you can end up getting. So every other place is basically supposed to compare to Olin's Valley, and is essentially supposed to be like lesser than Olin's Valley. So, you should see the highest numbers from Olin's Valley. Now, I haven't really done any grinding in Olin's Valley, but if you guys have, you can let me know if that's true or not, or if you guys feel like you're getting more Caphras or Spirit Dust, or a combination of both, I guess, in other spots that's better than what you're supposed to be getting in Olin's Valley. So you guys can let me know, because I wouldn't know the answer to that. So with that being said, just other little things here. Class changes. There were some changes to the Corsair class. I'll just leave this here. You guys can take a look at it and read it if you want. I'm not going to read this word for word, but what I will do is, because we are at the end of the notes here, I'm going to include a link to this in the description if you guys want to take a look at it on your own and maybe a bit more detail, some of the stuff that I didn't really cover as much. You guys are welcome to do so. The only thing I want to leave as another reminder here at the end, once again, is that this is not the NA, EU, Southeast Asia patch notes. This is the Global Labs notes, and this doesn't mean that this stuff is coming to the game, in a couple days, in a week or so, but it does give us a general idea of what we can generally look forward to in the future when it does actually come out. So, don't look too into it right now, because, there's still potentially a little bit of time before this does come to NA, EU, Southeast Asia. But with that being said, that is it for this week's Global Lab notes and kind of an overview of what is to come ahead. Like I said, looking very good, guys. I am feeling good about the future of the game. I'm enjoying the game so much lately. I've been playing a lot of my seasonal character. I've been playing a lot off-season, really getting into all the updates lately, and been having a lot of fun making videos and streaming, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed watching, and especially with the Ataraxian dungeon that is coming out very soon here. You guys can definitely expect more videos kind of getting into the details behind that. So if you guys enjoyed this and you want more videos like this in the future, videos about Ataraxian, more videos about seasons and all that sort of stuff, consider subscribing to the channel. Really do appreciate all the support, everyone. If you want to help out as well, leaving a quick like means more than you can imagine. So thank you so much to all of you guys who do that. And with that being said, that is going to be it for now. So have a great rest of your day, everyone. Take care. Have a good one. And until next time.